Have you ever looked at a map of Africa and wondered why so many of the borders are straight lines? It looks almost unnatural, like someone just took a ruler and drew lines across a continent, with little regard for what was actually on the ground. Well, in a way, that's exactly what happened. And the story behind these borders is a key reason why many African nations have faced immense challenges since gaining independence. Let's rewind to the late 19th century. European powers were in a frantic race to claim territory in Africa, a period known as the Scramble for Africa. To avoid conflict among themselves, they convened the Berlin Conference in 1884. Here, 14 European nations and the United States gathered to literally carve up the continent. The most shocking part? Not a single African leader was invited to the table. The fate of an entire continent, home to thousands of distinct cultures, languages, and political systems, was decided by men thousands of miles away who knew very little about the people they were dividing. The borders they drew were based on European convenience, not African reality. They focused on securing access to valuable resources like rubber, diamonds, and gold, and controlling strategic rivers and coastlines. Straight lines were drawn across deserts and forests, often cutting right through the middle of established kingdoms, ethnic groups, and ancient trade routes. Imagine one day a line is drawn through your town. Suddenly, your cousins live in another country, your traditional farmlands are under a different government, and you reforced to be part of a new nation with groups you've historically been in conflict with. This is precisely the chaos these artificial borders created. Forcing rival groups together within the same borders while splitting cohesive communities apart laid the groundwork for decades of tension and instability. When these newly formed countries gained independence in the mid-20th century, they inherited these illogical boundaries. The new national identities were fragile, often competing with deeper ethnic and regional loyalties. This has been a major factor in countless civil wars, ethnic conflicts, and political instability across the continent. Groups that had managed their own affairs for centuries were now minorities in a larger state, struggling for representation and resources. Furthermore, these borders often created landlocked countries, cutting them off from the sea and severely hindering their ability to trade and develop their economies. Others were left with illogical shapes that made governance and infrastructure development incredibly difficult. The colonial powers essentially designed these states for extraction, not for sustainable, independent success. So when we talk about the challenges facing many African nations today, it is impossible to ignore the starting point they were given, a map drawn not for the people of Africa, but for the profit of Europe. The legacy of the Berlin Conference is a powerful reminder of how decisions made in the past can have profound and lasting consequences. While African nations have shown incredible resilience and are forging their own paths forward, the shadows of these colonial borders still linger. What do you think? Can countries truly overcome a foundation that was designed to be unstable? Or are the effects of these colonial borders permanent? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into our world's history.